Holy One, who neither slumbers nor miscounts a single tear, let the second wind arrive like Pentecost in a tired chest. Sweep through the rooms of memory and open the shuttered windows. Let stale air flee and the fragrance of Christ fill every corner. Where a voice has echoed, "Settle here, pitch a tent, surrender to the dim," answer with the thunder of a better promise that will not be muzzled by circumstance. Stretch a canopy of your presence above this valley road and turn the narrow places into corridors of revelation. Baptize the imagination until it pictures a future not authored by fear, and write in the margins of every page, "Passed through, carried through, led through." Let courage grow roots, not the brittle bravado that shatters under weight, but the supple strength that bends without breaking because it drinks from living water beneath the surface. Unfurl patience like a banner and teach the soul the ancient cadence of trust. Step, breathe, listen, step, breathe, listen. Translate every groan into intercession. Let the Spirit who searches the deep places pray through the wordless ache and make it music before your throne. Collect the fragments the valley tried to scatter and fashion them into a testimony fit for the mouths of the meek. Crown mourning with a wreath of gladness and exchange garments heavy with despair for robes that move light in your wind. Refuse the lie that darkness owns the narrative. Command the horizon to remember its assignment and lighten. Command the heart to remember the name and steady. Command the enemy that lounges at the table's edge to behold, but not devour. Set boundaries he cannot cross, and within those boundaries give rest that does not apologize for existing before the outcome is visible. Teach the soul to eat peace like bread, and to sip hope like a vintage saved for such a time as this. Let the fork scraped by fear fall silent, while joy takes up the meal with grateful hands. Pour oil that runs down into thoughts prone to anxiety until they shine with a sanctified sheen, not slick with denial, but luminous with recognition. The shepherd is here. Write benediction over old seasons, not labels of failure, but liturgies of formation. Let the mind revisit the battlefield and find wildflowers growing where shrapnel once cut the earth. Let forgiveness surprise the mouth that swore it would never speak kindly of the wound. Let wisdom settle into the bones and make them strong bridges others can cross when their own valleys open. Put language in the mouth of testimony that does not boast but blesses, that does not center the wound but magnifies the healer. Keep the gaze fixed on the one who went lower than any valley and rose higher than any summit, so that no depth is without a ladder and no height without a hand to steady. Summon the future into the present like a song heard before its first note is played. Let purpose begin moving under the surface like spring under late snow. Cause dormant gifts to stir, seasoned now by sorrow into gentleness, and weighed now by glory into gravitas. Give vision that refuses to be hypnotized by opposition. The field is already white, the path is already prepared, the feast is already arranged. If there must be thorns, let them not choke but remind. If there must be wolves, let them not devour but expose. If there must be fire, let it not consume but refine. Make character the cathedral that rises in the center of the soul. Arches of humility, windows of compassion, an altar of obedience where every yes is laid down unreserved. Bless the ordinary with sacramental weight. The next step, the next breath, the next small kindness, let them carry eternity's resonance. Put a psalm under the soles of the feet, so the ground resounds with worship each time it is touched. Turn the staff into more than support. Make it a sign of entrusted authority to shepherd hope in others. Spread the tablecloth again and keep filling the cup, because abundance is not an event, but a nature, and your nature does not flicker with weather. Let the overflow find every neighbor the valley has introduced, the silent sufferer, the skeptic watching from the rock, the child whose questions have not found language. Let the overflow find them and carry them too. Mark the threshold of this season with stones of remembrance. Here the presence held, here the shadow thinned, here the voice spoke, here the traveller stood when running seemed holy and quitting seemed reasonable. Let these stones preach when memory forgets, and let their sermon be simple. Keep walking, not numb but anointed, not frantic but faithful, not to prove worth, but because worth has been declared by a greater word. And when the mouth opens to confess what this road has taught, let it bless the name who wrote deliverance into the very grammar of the journey. Let it bless the shepherd who tunes footsteps to mercy's music. Let it bless the love that will not allow a permanent address in a temporary place. Now set the compass to the house that promises forever. Goodness, take the rear. Mercy, take the flank. Glory, take the lead. Thread the final miles with quiet laughter that knows something the shadows do not. Death lost jurisdiction at a table where bread was broken and a cup lifted. Crown this passage with a doxology fit for saints and children and those who limp with hard-won joy. And let the benediction rise like the sun cresting the ridge. The valley is not the end, presence is the path, the shepherd is enough, and home is nearer than it looks from here. Amen.